What's going on, guys? Welcome to the weekly live chat. I do these every single Wednesday, roughly around 8, 9 p.m. Eastern time. There's a lot to discuss. I've been pumping out videos like crazy. I still got another video or two I want to do tonight. At least one I'm going to do. I don't know if it'll be out tonight, but I still got more videos. I'll let you guys know, fill you guys in on what those videos are in a little bit. But it is the first live chat after UFC 287, Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira 2. And there's a lot to discuss. So we're going to recap UFC 287, even though I've been beating it to death with videos. I mean, seriously. I've been beating UFC 287 to a pulp with content. We're going to talk about a potential Israel Adesanya versus Khamzat Chimaev fight. And we're going to talk about UFC 290. I did a video about UFC 290 earlier today as well. So if you guys have been watching the channel on a regular basis, you guys had a lot to watch because today I released, I think, 2 videos, right? Yeah, I released 2 videos. What's next for Israel Adesanya, discussing the trilogy or whatever else may be next, Khamzat Chimaev. I released a video on UFC 290, which will be Alexander Volkanovski versus Yair Rodriguez and Brandon Moreno versus Alexandre Pantoja. And then last night I released a video discussing the real reason that Israel Adesanya doesn't get the respect he deserves. He is never in the GOAT conversation, ever. And he deserves to be in it. And I broke it down very well in that video. That video actually did amazing. I'm looking at it right now. It's almost 10,000 views. It's close to over 10,000 views right now. The video I did kind of like a post-fight, like just about UFC 287. It was a solo video about the main event. Israel Adesanya exposed Alex Pereira at UFC 287. That video has almost 17,000 views, creeping up on it. So you guys have a lot of videos to watch. I did Max Holloway versus Arnold Allen prediction. I wanted to do more prediction videos for UFC Kansas City this Saturday, but I just haven't had a chance. Friday, I will do a stream. And I'll give you all my predictions for the entire card because it is a great, great card. And that's a nice change of pace considering fight night cards are usually terrible. Anyway, it is April 12th, 2023. And I can't, where the hell is the time going? My head's spinning. I don't know. Like, I don't even know how I got here. How are we in 2023? How are we in April of 2023? How did we already see Adesanya Pereira 2? It was just announced on that weird YouTube announcement, like, seems like a day ago. And now it's over. And now we got to look forward to the next event. We also can talk about the recent news that was announced that I really don't want to talk about. And that is Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena 3. That one's bad. That one's really, really bad. But anyway, if you guys have any questions, post them in the chat. If you guys could do me an amazing favor and like the stream. If you're watching live, like it. If you're watching in the future, make sure to like it. Also, make sure you double check and make sure you subscribe to the channel and have notifications on. We are creeping fast towards that 10,000 mark. We are at 8,831 subscribers, and we've gained about 500 in the last 7 days. So my graph is literally like, yeah, so let's see. Let's actually take a look real quick. I have it up right here. 7 days ago, I had 8,343. So I am 12 subscribers away from 500 subs in the last 7 days. So if you guys could do me a favor, if you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you join me for these live streams. I'm live streaming tonight. I'll be live streaming on Friday. I'll be live streaming on Saturday. My entire life of free time is sitting in front of this camera. And I got another video potentially coming tonight, but most likely it'll be tomorrow because by the time I get it done, it probably won't be. It'll probably be too late. It'll probably be like 12 or 1. So it probably won't be out till tomorrow. And then hopefully I get another video done tomorrow night. And hopefully maybe 2 videos tomorrow. Because if I get one done tonight, I can release it tomorrow earlier in the day. And then I'll record another video tomorrow evening. And then I'll release it before it gets too late. Anyway, I'll get to the chat. I do these streams every single Wednesday night. But I stream periodically throughout the week anyway. So if you guys are new to the channel, because we got a lot of new subscribers recently, now you know. Okay, getting into the questions. What's up, Tommy? What's up, Tobias? What's up, Brandon Vargas with the Boston Crab meme? Toby says, yo, dude, Jesse on Fire showed your video. Okay, that's cool, I guess. What do you mean by I showed it? But someone from the chat made him mad, so I guess he didn't give you a shout out. Oh, well. I guess it is what it is, but I guess that's interesting. Yeah, I forgot. There was something going on like a week ago, but honestly, my memory forgot what it was now. Somebody was trying to start shit, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But it wasn't that long ago, to believe it or not. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. That's pretty cool. Sup, fool? What's up? Would you put Izzy above Khabib in the GOAT conversation? Unequivocal, yes. Why is Israel Adesanya not in the GOAT conversation? He needs to be. He is above Khabib. Khabib had 3 title defenses. 3. I don't care if he's 30-0 or 29-0 or whatever the hell he is. Israel Adesanya has a way better resume. Just title reign alone. Title reign exclusively. Israel Adesanya's title reign versus Khabib's entire career. Israel Adesanya is higher up on the GOAT list, in my opinion. And isn't it crazy how no one even ever recognized that at all? That Israel was one of the GOATs of the sport? If he never wins another fight again, he's still one of the top 10 GOATs in the UFC. What's up, Sager? What's going on, my friend? I hope you're all right. I hope you're doing good. I hope everything's all right with you. Would you put... Okay, read that. What's up? Took my kid to Disney World for the week for spring break. This place is full of donkeys. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Slide Tendencies 87. Thank you for the 2 months of membership. Great uploads as of late. Adesanya video 100%. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm putting out stuff that I believe should be put out. That, you know, I feel like need to be said, but maybe necessarily people aren't saying them. And, you know, I don't care. I'm just a normal guy living my life. You know, people on the internet aren't going to get me down. People talking shit on the internet aren't going to get me down. So why not post what I want to post anyway? That's what I've been doing since I started the channel when nobody was watching. I was saying what I really think. And that's what I do. And that's what I do. And if you guys like it, that's fine. There's plenty of people that I'm sure unsubscribed. You know, let me go take a look at the graph yesterday. Let me go take a look. Yeah, there was periodic. Like, it'll show you a graph of how many people subscribed from a certain video. And there was quite a few unsubscribes too, but way more subscribers. It's got well over 100 subscribers from the video I posted last night. So way more support than hate, for sure. Joey, she had her dead to rights, I'm telling you. Tell me in detail how great Amanda Nunes versus Juliana is the best match ever. No. What is the dead to rights thing? What are we talking about there? Just subbed yesterday. Wish I would have known about your live stream of the fight. I would have watched it with you instead of the other guy I watched. I'll be watching you from here on. Like the stream. Thank you, Joshua Glover. How did you find the channel? But appreciate you subscribing. I stream most of the fight cards. Not every single one, but I stream most of them. Joey, show us your time machine. I must admit, guys, can we keep it? Look, I'm going to tell you guys a secret, but I want to keep it in between this chat, all right? I don't want you guys telling anyone else. I am a time traveler. I already knew what happened in the Adesanya versus Pereira rematch. I usually don't like to use it. I like to be surprised because then it ruins the hype for the fight. But I went ahead. I figured out that Adesanya is going to KO him as he gets too over aggressive in the second round, and then I came back for a perfect prediction. So, Izzy's already my middleweight GOAT. Yeah, I think that conversation needs to be had. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. Dricus is a real African. Who said he wasn't a real African? I mean, he is a real African, but so is Adesanya, so is Ngannou, and so is Usman. So, Dricus is an idiot, and so is Usman for the comments he made. On the GOAT list, I'd only definitively put Jones and GSP above Izzy. Agreed. Izzy's on the Mount Rushmore now. No. Love your video where you talked about Izzy doesn't get the respect he deserves, spitting nothing but facts. Thank you, Brandon Vargas. I appreciate you. What do you think of Dricus only consider himself and the other white South African, they only African? What do I think of him saying that? I think he's an idiot. I think it's a horrible storyline, and I think it makes absolutely no sense. Just because you were born somewhere and moved away from there doesn't make you not from there, you know? It makes no sense. So he's an idiot. It comes off as really horrible. It looks horrible. The optics of it is terrible. And you add that to the fact that he's a horrible fighter. You know, it just looks like desperate to try to drum up some controversy so you can, I guess, get a title shot. So that's what he's doing. Him with Silva and Khabib is a toss-up? Nah, dude. Adesanya is way above Khabib, and so is Silva. And I love Khabib. Israel's pound for pound, but we forget about his loss to Jan. Jan's a striker, dominated him on the ground. He also lost to Alex. I'd argue that. Yeah, I mean, definitely you have to take all that into account. Who would win in an MMA Media Rumble Royal Rumble? Joey tosses out Luke Thomas for the ring title. I have no idea. I'm Boston crabbing someone. I'm not even tossing him over the rope. It was from that Pena clip in Twitter. She's so delusional. Oh, yeah. That was horrible. It popped up on my recommended. Well, I'm glad it did, my friend. I'm glad it did. Alex lacking MMA IQ lacking, but he was able to beat Prime Israel with little MMA experience. He also lost a lot of rounds, in my opinion. Habib doesn't have the defenses, but his dominance is much stronger. Yeah, it's all super subjective. It's super subjective. Jones is not to go. He uses roids. Of course, that's a conversation we can have, but it's all left up to determination. It makes perfect sense if Israel wants an easy fight in Africa. Dude, Izzy would start Dricus badly. Badly. It would be horrendous. It would be a one. I wouldn't even be excited for it. Because Dricus is one of the worst fighters. In no way, shape, or form does he deserve a title shot. No way, shape, or form does he deserve a title shot. And he's a horrible fighter. He's a bum of a fighter, to be quite honest. And it's sad if he gets a title shot. You know, it's sad to have to watch Adesanya beat him up, to be quite honest. Have you seen Juliana Pena's interview with Era? I saw a clip of it, and it was horrendous. Du Plessis' interview with Hawani was so cringe. What exactly did he say in the interview? What happened? Would you want to see a trilogy? Eventually, but not right now. I think it's bad for Pereira's career. I like Pereira. I hope he sticks around for a little bit. I think it's bad for his career to do a trilogy. And really, it doesn't really make sense right now. I break it down in depth in my video that I just did. Israel Adesanya doesn't owe Alex Pereira a trilogy fight. That is out on the channel right this very second. Climbing up the ranks with views right now. So if you want to go check that out after this stream, be my guest. Ariel embarrassed Dricus in his interview. What did he say to him? I know there are different weight classes, but how would Vera versus Barboza go? Barboza would smash him because they're in different weight classes. Dricus uses his head to block punches. Dude has horrible striking, horrible grappling, horrible everything. Dricus' coach is worse. He said Dricus is the only African king while Izzy is a New Zealander. Shit is just corny and it's downright incorrect. You know, that'd be like him moving today and him not being African anymore. So, I think it's just a cornball way to try to promote yourself because no one ever cared. Dude, does anybody want to see Dricus versus Izzy? Unless you just want to see Dricus die in the cage. Dricus would get dominated badly. It would be horrendous. It would be a one-sided beatdown. Yes or no in the chat. Does anyone want to see Dricus du Plessis versus Israel Adesanya? Yes or no? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you guys to answer because I have no... I mean, what would be compelling about it? I mean, does anyone even speculate about who would win or not win? You know what Adesanya would do to him? Oh my God, he would smash him bad. It'd be a brutal beatdown. No, he's too slow. Izzy might get his first sub, so yes, no, stop. If you want to see Dricus versus Izzy, you're smoking crack. Dricus is the worst fighter in the top 15. Brendan Allen would smash him. Kelvin would smash him. Chris Curtis would smash him. He wouldn't beat anyone. He wouldn't beat anyone now that Derek Brunson's retired. I mean, look at the two guys he beat are gone from the UFC. Derek Brunson retired. Darren Till, bum, cut from the organization because nobody ever wants to see him fight again because he's horrible. And then he loses every fight. And then he says, my ACL. Every fight he tore his ACL. I mean, at this point, I'm being dead serious. At this point, I like my chances against Dricus du Plessis. If I'm at the grocery store and Dricus du Plessis bumps into me and starts talking shit, I like my chances to Boston Crab him right now. I would take my chances in that fight. He said he got his nose fixed. Yeah, that's fine. That doesn't make you have better striking. I know that's not what you're saying. I'm just saying in my opinion. Doesn't make you have better striking. Doesn't make you have better defensive grappling. Doesn't make you have better offensive grappling. Doesn't make you have better submissions. His gas tank's horrible anyway. So, yeah. Israel is pound for pound. He only lost to Yan because of the ground domination. People tend to forget Israel 185 run. That is true. They should do Khamzat versus Dricus. Then they could set up Khamzat versus Izzy after that. Yeah, Khamzat would wreck Dricus. That's what I was thinking. Book an easy layup for Khamzat. And then he gets a title shot. I mean, dude, Khamzat doesn't even need to train. He could beat Dricus. I feel like it'd be funny to watch. Adesanya versus Dricus is the equivalent to like Adesanya versus Juliana Pena. If Kelvin can get a break here, I'd like to see him and Izzy run it back. That's the real rematch, not Alex, respectfully. Yeah, that's a dream of mine, but I don't think we're ever getting it. I don't think he can make a run up the ladder. I mean, without the headbutt, and that's another video I'm going to make, without the headbutt, he probably ends up losing that fight. And it was close even with it. He slowed down. He was getting ripped to the body. He didn't look in the best shape. You know, when you go back and look at him at some of the times when he was in the best shape of his career, he didn't look like he was taking that seriously. I think it'd be tough for Dricus to get a title shot if he doesn't get it now, because if he takes another fight with someone like Dricus is going to lose his next fight. It's just a matter of is it for a title or not. Billy, thank you for the 8 months of memberships. Big number 8. Dricus should never sniff a pay-per-view main event. Oh, God, you're right. You're right. You know, I read that in my head and then I accidentally skipped over it. Yeah. Dude, Dricus in a pay-per-view main event is the worst idea I've ever heard. Is the worst idea I've ever heard in my life. That would be horrendous. That would be absolutely horrendous. I have no desire to see that. Whew. I wouldn't mind. Agreed on your Moreno pick. I see similarities from Izzy here. Pantoja 2-0, but Moreno has leveled up since. Yeah, kind of similarities, but Izzy was, Izzy was still good back when he lost to him the other times. Adesanya would beat Izzy good. Anime highlight reel. Dude, imagine the celebration he'd do after that. Dude, he'd pluck him with one shot. Honestly, I would honestly maybe predict a one-punch KO for Israel Adesanya. Wait until you realize that Brunson Toast posted on Twitter light heavyweight. Jesus, he wants to be certified CT before he retires. Oh my God, please no. Please, for the love of God, no. I have no desire to see that. Absolutely no desire to see that. That'd be horrendous. He doesn't deserve it. I meant to tweet this out. Hold on 1 second, guys. I can't believe I forgot this. Boom. If you guys don't follow me, go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MMAJoeyC. I'll put it in the chat. I try to be super active on there. He can get a better breather? Okay. If he fights, it is in Africa, I would love to see Dricus. Imagine the speech that Adesanya would give after brutally KOing him. I'd want him to Boston Crab Dricus. Chris Curtis said Joe's Crab Shack in the aerial interview that must have been meant for you. No, you're kidding me. Did he really? That's funny. There is a restaurant called Joe's Crab Shack. So maybe that's what he's talking about. What if that was a little Easter egg for me? That'd be funny. Making it seem like he'll be 10 times better. Yeah, that's a delusion. That's another video I need to make. Dricus du Plessis is the worst middleweight fighter in all of the middleweight division. Dricus did not stay as Hill. I don't think Dana make the fight. What happened in the aerial interview? Someone needs to tell me. How fast does Dricus gas out against Izzy? Hot take. Dricus does not gas out against Izzy because he gets KO'd in the first 2 minutes. Dricus versus your local grocery store cashier. Who you picking? Honestly, that's going to be a close one. Not convinced Kelvin's in old form yet. Nice to see him win. Curtis is a crybaby. Dude, the thing is, if that was the main event, there'd be far more controversy around that. That's why I'm making a video about it. I just haven't had a chance yet. I've been meaning to make it for the last 2 days. No wonder Chris Curtis was calling out Dricus a few months back. He knew what he was doing. Of course he did. I talked about it. I talked about it to him myself. It's a great matchup for him. I would bet if Dricus versus Chris Curtis got announced, I would bet good money on Chris Curtis. I'd probably bet like 200 or 300 on Chris Curtis. Especially if the odds, if Dricus was a favorite, oh my God, it'd be easy money. Colby needs to win this fight. Okay. We'll see if it even happens. It doesn't look like, it doesn't even seem like, I don't know. You get my point. Where was I at? Now I lost my spot. If Dricus continues saying he's the only African and made all black African upset and made a lot of media, he's not getting a title shot. I don't know. But it definitely doesn't come. It rubs people the wrong way for sure. And it's not even true. And for people to say that about him isn't true either. So it's just a horrible, dumb thing. It's just a horrible look in my opinion. I don't think UFC won Khamzat versus Izzy yet. It's the fight to make though. If Gastelum never pulled out against Dricus, we wouldn't even be here. I know. How the F did Brunson lose to Dricus and how the F did Till? They're both bums too. Oh. Dricus is overrated. He just made a name off beating Till. I hope Chimaev fights him. Yeah, I hope Chimaev fights him too. Saw your vid on why people don't like Izzy, and you earned a sub. Well, I'm happy to have earned that sub, my friend. Appreciate you, Dubs. Pena said that if Nunes didn't keep on taking her down in the second fight, she would have. Dude, Pena's the most delusional fighter ever. I can't wait to see her get her ass beat again. Even though I didn't want to see it. Like, she's going to be begging for a fourth fight afterwards. She's going to be begging for a fourth fight afterwards. Because she's going to get brutalized again. And so help me God, if Nunes doesn't show up and let Pena beat her, I'm going to be pissed. She also said that she had a submission. She almost finished her. I love watching Pena get a beatdown. Well, you're going to enjoy UFC 289. Honestly, I'd rather see Dricus versus Alex. Wonder if Alex can KO him before. Dude, Alex would destroy Dricus. Dricus doesn't even have good offensive wrestling. So, would you like a Costa rematch versus Izzy? Would you entertain it? If Costa can string together a couple wins. But right now, absolutely not. I would love to see get punched in the face for a third time. Okay. There are 3 champs from Africa and didn't get a card over there. I don't know why people think we're getting one now. Dude, the UFC Africa narrative has been going on for years now. It's not going to happen for many years. Dricus just bum rushes his opponents. Izzy will have a viral KO against Dricus. Agreed. Dricus the colonizer. Okay. It'd be a history UFC African team. Habib would want to be on it. Habib wanted to fight in Africa. That'd be crazy. A card in Africa in general would just be crazy because they've never been there. Imagine Izzy beating Khamzat, then moving up to light heavyweight, winning the title. He might be tapping John Jones on the shoulder for the GOAT title. That is true. That is true. Here's my plan, all right? You ready for my plan? This is never going to happen, and Jones would absolutely demolish Izzy. Let Jones beat Stipe, and then one more win after that. Let Izzy beat Khamzat. After he beats Khamzat, let him move up and take on the winner of Jamal versus Yuri. And then if he wins that, John Jones moves back down to light heavyweight, and they fight at light heavyweight for the light heavyweight title. Izzy as the champ. John Jones moving down as the challenger as a heavyweight champion. Izzy 2-weight champion. Jones heavyweight champion. That'd be crazy. A lot of UFC fighters were fans of Muhammad Ali, want to fight in Africa. Okay. Izzy would become a hero if he beats Dricus the African. Yeah. What do you think of Cameron Saman? He's a much better than Dricus. He's much better than Dricus, in my opinion. I think he's an interesting prospect. I think the majority of people just don't like Izzy because of his personality. It's really about anything else, in my opinion. If he wasn't so corny, more people would like him. Yeah, but there's plenty of corny fighters that get plenty of praise, you know? So, I think there's just a list of factors. Pereira becoming champ just goes to show how garbage middleweight is. A guy with 8 MMA fights and basically 0 grappling can become champ. Well, I don't think that goes hand in hand because the UFC specifically gave him a path to a matchup that he could win. Dana, we're definitely going to Africa before I retire. Yeah. Dana and the brass have to look at Dricus and know he's not elite. Oh, they know. They know. For sure they know. And, yeah. I can't imagine thinking that anyone thinks he is elite. Imagine you're his fan or something and you're like, yeah, Dricus is an elite fighter. Yeah, okay. Not. He's never looked good. Even in some of his early fights, he was getting lit up. He was getting lit up. So. Okay. Great video on Izzy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bo Nickel, next year's champion. If Alex Pereira was still holding on to the belt, maybe. Okay, Robert Whitaker said the reason Khamzat's not fighting is he has a hard time leaving the country. Okay. Well, eventually it's got to happen. They should have did Curtis versus Brunson and Dricus versus Kelvin before UFC 285. That would have made sense too. As an Izzy stan, Khamzat is the only matchup that worries me other than Pereira. I think Izzy beats Khamzat. How much pay-per-view buys do you think that would do, Izzy versus Jones? If it happened the exact way that I just broke it down, over 1.5. Over 1.5. Thoughts on Nate Diaz versus JP? I have no thoughts. Don't care. Irrelevant. Ariel collects a check, and he's going to promote it as much as possible. I think Izzy fans lost a lot of fans because of the dog collars. He regained respect back after the fight. Beating Dricus will be big. I mean, you lose respect for a man because he's wearing a dog collar. I mean, come on now. Who cares? It's weird, but who cares? Who cares? Great video on Izzy. Thank you, Southside. I think I already read that. Has anyone heard about UFC Africa? No, it's not happening. Izzy's trying to run from Pereira around 3, and I think that's what they want to do. Yeah. Oh, I'm not even going to acknowledge it. He's not running from anything. Dude, he just KO'd him. Dustin versus Gaethje. Who you got? I got Dustin. Probably Dustin. I don't know, though. Still think Izzy has to lose to Vettori in the first fight. Still think Izzy lost to Vettori in the first fight. Go back and watch it before you call me. I've watched it multiple times. There's no way that Vettori won that fight. Yanez and Dricus both massively overrated. I don't know if Dricus is actually overrated because no one actually thinks he's good. Do you think Valentina's washed up? No, I just think she got way too complacent. Dricus versus Shabazian. They're both horrible bums, basically, yeah. Hey, Joe, what do you think about Jesse addressing your video? What do you mean by that? Khamzat would smash Izzy? No. Yanez, still going to be good. Rob Font was just too much. Yeah, I think Yanez is still very good. He's a vet and a great boxer. Izzy got taken down by Alex Pereira. How does he beat Khamzat? He wasn't expecting the takedown. It was one takedown, dude. Come on, calm down. Joey loves him. Some celebrity boxing. No. Bo Nickel is Dricus on the feet. Dude, Bo Nickel would beat Dricus, in my opinion. UFC Africa doesn't even have a stadium built yet. He's running from Pereira. Lowell. That's going to be a banger. The Izzy running from Alex narrative is actually ridiculous. Yeah, it's a clown show. Dustin versus Justin. That's it. Yeah, I mean, it's going to happen. Probably too early to think about this, but if Shavkat were to ever move up and challenge Izzy, how would you see that going? I'd favor Izzy as it stands right now. The only dude on the planet that thought Vettori won any fights against Izzy was Giga. I didn't even know that. Joe, do you wear your Venom gear to work like a boss? You can't wear. It's hard to wear Venom gear out in the public because you just get swarmed by women. So it's tough. I only break it out on occasion. Is there any way you see Dricus surviving round 1 against Khamzat? No, he would get finished in the first round badly. If Khamzat can't come inside America, pause, and can only go to Dubai, it's a problem for the UFC. Now, I doubt that's a problem, but we'll see. What do you think about Barboza as an underdog versus Billy Q? Check the betting tab in the Discord. I posted a 3-fight parlay that I bet $50 on to win $650, and that'll tell you what I think about it. But we'll save that for the members Discord. Patty. But to answer your question very slightly on stream, I think Barboza is going to get it done. Most recent vid has your vid thumbnail, and he doesn't address it. Oh, yeah, somebody told me about that earlier. Yep. I heard that. Khamzat will not get Izzy fight if he can't come to the UFC. He might be able to. We'll see. Is Dricus a great African contender? No. He's not a contender, and he's not a great by any means. He might be African, but he's not great. And he shouldn't be considered a contender. Joe, would it be wrong for the UFC to book Khamzat Izzy right without beating it? Yes and no. Yes, because he doesn't deserve it, but no, because there's nobody else. The division's cleared out. Pereira going to come back hard because of Izzy and his son. Okay? Do you think Islam will move up to 170 next year? No. I think Dricus lost African fans. He could have taken that like Francis and the others. Yeah, I don't know. It dude sound like a cornball to me. But so did Usman, because people are going to say, oh, you're picking on Dricus. Usman said the same thing. Usman was a cornball too. Who was the first to KO Colby? I don't know. I'll say Bilal. Izzy versus Khamzat's a great fight, but people got to realize Izzy fought some high-level grapplers and beat all of them. He's got great takedown defense. UFC goes to Dubai. That means Khamzat only fights once a year. Yeah, who knows what's the truth? How does Izzy beat Khamzat if he gets taken down by Alex Pereira? He didn't expect a takedown from Alex Pereira. He's only going to expect takedown from Khamzat. Are you interested in Costa versus Khamzat? Yes. It's a great matchup. Marty TKO'd Colby. That is true. Colby versus Islam is such a compelling matchup. Yeah, that is pretty good. There's no other fights. That's why Adesanya and Alex will go to round 3. I don't think they will. Just check. Why are you confident on Royval? Convince me. I'm not confident on Royval, but I'm confident on the other two. And I think Royval is like 50-50. So, look, I just give you the information. You do with it what you will. But I would say that parlay has about, I would say, a 60%, 70% chance of hitting, and that's $50 for 650. You can bet $10 and, win 1/5 of that, whatever exactly that is. I think that's a damn good value. But you know me, I'm not a betting man. I only bet on Izzy to win by KO. I wish I would have bet specifically by second round KO, but yeah, I bet 100 on Izzy by finish. I was confident that Izzy would finish him, and that I'm still on free money now. I've been betting got legalized last November. I've been betting with free money ever since. Have not deposited any money still. And people could trail you if they want to see how much plus or minus you be at the end of the year. Yeah, but all I do is mess around. I'm not making necessarily super smart picks. So I just kind of mess around. So it's not something I like to cover on the channel. That's why it's like a members perk. I post bets in the Discord. So it's not really something it's not a hill I'm dying on. Who does Shavkat not finish and wins by decision in the top 5? I'll say Leon Edwards. He'll fight him to a decision. I don't know why people are making a big deal about Izzy breaking Alex's son. I'm not an Izzy fan, but I found it hilarious. Yeah. To clutch your pearls over something so insignificant is just a clown show. Absolute clown show. Who are you picking, Colby, Leon? I could see clinch knee KO for Leon. I don't know. I'm 50-50. I'm leaning Colby, to be honest. Dricus only speaks Afrikaans, which is the language of the white colonial European dudes. If he at least one South African language from Zulu, my opinion will change. I'm not sure what you mean. Robert Whitaker is honest person. I trust his words. Okay. What if Izzy just retired and rode off into the sunset and went on top? I'd be super disappointed. I'd be super disappointed. UFC wanted to make UFC Sweden in the summer and get Khamzat a fight sooner than Dubai. I hope that happens, and it's against Dricus. Think about if Khamzat can fight in the summer, why are they keeping him to Dubai? I don't know. Why have they been keeping him out for so long? It could be his connection to Kadyrov or whatever the hell his name is. It really could be that connection. So, yeah, that does make sense now that I think about it. You're probably right. He's probably right. Not that I'm saying he's lying, but I'm just saying the UFC can figure it out. But he has close ties to that Kadyrov guy who has close ties to Russia. And it's probably not good to be able to let, you know, close friends of warlords into the country. Who wins between Jamal Hill and Izzy? I'm probably picking Izzy. I would probably pick Izzy. Because I think Izzy's just more technical, and he's already dealt with bigger guys in Alex Pereira. So I think he'd be able to do it. Playing UFC 4 right now, pick my fighter. I'm trying to think of a random one. Pick your fighter. Go with Tony Ferguson. The Izzy D-riding is insane. Yeah, well then stop doing it, Salamander man. Do you think Kamaru is still Marty good? I don't know what that means. Crazy, I think Colby's a tough matchup for Leon. Burns a tough matchup for Colby, and Bilal and Leon tough matchup for Burns. I agree. How does Alex Pereira versus Johnny Walker go 5 rounds? Probably first or second round KO for Alex Pereira, unless Walker grapples. They're doing Khamzat versus Costa. It's a lock. No, it's not. Anybody telling you that is full of shit. It is not. It is not a lock. If Bo Nickel beats Trayshawn Gore, does the UFC make Nickel Piper soon? No. They won't fight each other. All right, let's move on to the UFC 287 recap. While we got a lull in action here. Let's go on over to UFC 287 recap. Major results on Tapology. Didn't have a great night, but had an okay night. I went 7-5. I got robbed on the Watterson fight, so it should have been 8-5. And then Curtis doesn't get headbutted. That's 9-5. Norton Becca, if he would have actually went for the finish in the first round, he would have won. And Moriam almost had that first round sub. It was deep, but didn't get it. So I did much better than my pick numbers are indicative of. And I got the entire main card right, except I picked Rosas Jr. All right, let's recap the fight. Let's recap the fight. Oh my goodness. The main event, Israel Adesanya versus Alex Pereira 2. And let me see if I can put this on the screen real quick. Let me see if I can put this on stream real quick. Image media source maybe? Okay, browse output maybe? Let's see if I can put this on screen. I don't know what it would be. Let's see if it's that. Loop. Okay, boom. I don't know what happened here. I don't know how to put it on screen. Oh, I know how I can do it. I want to play you guys in case you guys missed it. Let me go to my YouTube video real quick. Let me go to my YouTube video real quick. X out of that. X out of that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, let's go to my YouTube video. I want to show you this clip that I posted at 225. Okay, here we go. It's a clip from my prediction video, okay? It's a clip from my prediction video, okay? Why is this looking all wonky? Oh, because I minimized it. I'm an idiot. OBS ain't working right. I don't know why OBS isn't working right. Let me see if I can actually get it to work. Window capture. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's minimize that down here. Give me 1 second, guys. I just got to show you guys this in case you didn't see it. In case you didn't see it by some chance. This is a clip that I posted on a recent video of mine. And I clipped out about 40 seconds of my prediction video, okay? And I'm going to play it on stream for you. Because it's craziness. Okay, let me pull it up. This is a clip for my prediction video. This is from my prediction video that I posted last Monday before the fights. Of my prediction for UFC 287 main event. Why is it not playing? Oh, hold on. Let me make sure it's playing. Hold on. Now that he has the hold on. Showing you a like 45-second. Hold on a second. That's not right. I'm an idiot. All right. It should be good in 1 second. Transition. Boom. Now let's take a look at this. Let me take a look at this. Okay. This is a clip of my prediction video. Just to recap. Let's play this out real quick. This week, check that out real quick. And I think Pereira, now that he has the confidence in his head, you know, I finished him twice. I'm going to finish him again. I think Pereira is going to come out more aggressive. And I think that stylistic matchup of a pressure fighter is the perfect matchup for Israel Adesanya. He's an amazing counter striker. And I think Adesanya is going to land a big shot in that second round, maybe late second round. And I think he's going to KO Alex Pereira. And I think it's going to be shocking for most people. And Pereira, he can't just wade in and not respect Adesanya's striking. And I think in this fight, he will. I think he'll be looking for an earlier finish. I think he thinks he's going to go in there and bully Israel Adesanya in the earlier rounds. And I think he's going to get clipped by Adesanya. And I think he's going to get put to sleep in the late second round. So there you go. You have my prediction. Talk about spot on. I can't believe how eerily accurate that was. There you go. There is my prediction. How crazy is that? And let's, you know what? While we're on here, we can obviously, we got plenty of time tonight anyway. Let's go take a look at some of these comments I got on that video. I got so much shit. Unbelievable amount of shit on that video. Let's go take a look at some comments. Because utter vindication. Utter vindication on that video. Let's go take a look. Okay, boom. Let's pause it. Last time Izzy KO'd anyone was 3 years ago. He has pillow hands. His biggest strength is leg kicking people at range and looking for a counter. But he can't just KO anyone that doesn't blitz in like a dummy like Whitaker did in their first fight. Izzy already tried wrestling in their first fight and it worked until it didn't. Alex came into Izzy's domain and took it over. His confidence is shot. Boom. So Izzy has pillow hands, you know. Alex doesn't have to finish Izzy. A champion can afford to point fight. Okay, that one really doesn't matter. Let's see. I know I got some other good ones, but I'm just kind of wading through real quick. Because I got a lot of crap in this thing, but for some reason now I'm not finding it. Bro giving Izzy way too much credit. His best chance to beat Alex was in the last fight. All the pressure on Alex and Izzy. He had the surprise of takedowns and experience in the ring. The only success Izzy had was the grappling. And now he's played that card. Alex can work out of getting out of those positions. And that's step in 1-2. Other than that, he was losing the leg kick game, losing the clinch battle, and getting pressured against the fence the whole fight. The confidence Alex will have now will only help him. And I can see Izzy coming in aggressively and getting put out. I wouldn't be surprised if Alex get takedown and finish him on the ground and pound instead of trying to close him off against the cage. That one wasn't that bad. I'm trying to find the ones that were literally like, dude, you're an idiot. But it doesn't look like they're showing up right now. I'm finding them though. Someone said the audio was different, which is annoying. Pereira KO retirement. I think you are overestimating a scared Adesanya and underestimating Alex. Stop the blasphemy. Izzy not knocking out Pereira? That's impossible. What you actually meant was Pereira TKO Izzy in the second round. I'm hearting that one. You failed to mention out of 3 out of 17 times did the ex-champ come back and regain the belt. You failed to mention Izzy knocked out twice. Blah, 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 which isn't even true. This guy is crazy. Now he believes Adesanya will win. Ha ha. I can't wait. I want to see how bad this will age. Heart. I can't stand the Izzy's the better striker comments. Poton has 2 glory belts. Izzy has 0. Okay, don't care. You guys get the point. I'm not going to sit here and go through them all day. There was much more because I also did a video. And if you guys remember, you watched it and it's aged very well. On the channel last Friday, I did a video called, I'm trying to refresh because I want to see exactly what the name is. Why is Israel Adesanya being counted out against Alex Pereira? And I got a lot of bad comments on that. I did a poll on the channel, who's going to win, and I heard a lot of shit on there. There were so many. Like, the ones I found weren't the worst, but there was a lot of comments just saying, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. I got a lot in the live chat as well. Yeah. That's basically the gist of it. And what happened in that fight? Izzy went out there. He won the first round. Clearly won the first round. It was competitive, but if you go back and rewatch, he clearly won the first round. Outlanded him, did more damage. Second round, he was winning the majority of the second round. Pereira started to shift the momentum about 30 to 45 seconds before the actual finish with leg kicks, but it doesn't matter. Adesanya brutally KO'd him. He got overconfident. He got over-aggressive against the best counter-striker in the UFC, and he paid for it with his consciousness. So, yeah, that's the way it is. I see this comment. Lots of self-righteous behavior because you got one pick right for a change. I've only gotten one pay-per-view main event wrong this year. So, yeah, I got one pick right for a change. Yeah, I think I got like 65% on Tapology right now. So, the point is, it's not that I got the pick right. It's that so many people were talking crap about how bad it was. You were probably one of them, which is clear. Let me look at my percentage for the year, just out of curiosity. I'm at 63% for the year. I'm at 66% for the year. So I got a 66% pick rate for the year. That's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. But nonetheless, we'll move on. Yeah, I mean, to recap the main event, now I know we went over it a little bit about the pick and everything, but to recap the main event, Pereira came in against one of the best counter strikers in the world and decided to try to swarm him early. And I guess he thought he was going to find a finish. He was nowhere close to a finish. I've seen some people say that Pereira was trying to finish him. Maybe he was trying to finish him, but he wasn't like getting in close on a finish. I mean, Adesanya was nowhere close to being finished. And because of Pereira's overconfidence, because of the last 3 fights, and because of the 2 finishes, he went headhunting a little bit, and he paid for it because Adesanya has the better striking. And that jab, I didn't even see the jab up until I watched it in slow-mo. That left jab is what set up the right hand. I didn't even see that until recently. And a hell of a win for Adesanya, a career-defining moment for Adesanya, utter vindication for Adesanya. And the thing is, people want to say that he owes Pereira a rematch. I talked about this in depth on my recent video. He owes Pereira nothing. Pereira wasn't a long-reigning champion. Pereira doesn't have an illustrious resume. Pereira got gifted an undeserved title shot because Adesanya had cleared out the division and done the grunt work for him. There's under no circumstances does Pereira deserve a trilogy. I wouldn't mind seeing it eventually, but right now I think it's bad for Pereira's career. If they book it, so be it. It's not the worst thing in the world. I'm not going to complain. It's a banger fight, no matter how many times it happens. I just think if you book that trilogy now, I really like Alex Pereira, and I think it's going to be the end of his career because I think he'll get KO'd again. So, if you're begging for that, you're begging for the end of Alex Pereira's career, in my opinion. Okay, moving on to the co-main event: Gilbert Burns, Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal's washed up. Masvidal is no longer good. Thank God he retired. Burns dominated him for the most part. The first round was the only round that was close, even though Joe Rogan insisted round 3 was somehow close. Burns out-grappled him, outstruck him, hurt him multiple times in the third round. Jorge looked like a shell of his former self. He's too worried about politics. He's too worried about politics and not about actually fighting. And he retired. I ultimately don't think that's the end of his combat sports career. I do believe he will box or whatever else comes available to him, because I think the UFC will let him go if they need be, if he asks for it. But Gilbert Burns actually really upset me. And this is a precedent the UFC has set now, where basically, if you beat Jorge Masvidal, you're getting a title shot. Gilbert demanding a title shot afterwards is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. He said, cut me or give me a title shot. Yeah, I don't even know what to say about that. Cut him then. Cut Gilbert Burns. I'm going to do a video on that. But Burns, under no circumstances, deserves a title shot. Unless everyone else in the division is injured. And he shouldn't be able to sit out for a title. Like, what is everyone beating Jorge and then sitting out for a title shot? No, absolutely not. Burns does not deserve it. He's won 2 fights in a row against Neil Magny and Jorge Masvidal. He's arguably less deserving than Colby. Just because Colby at least beat Jorge a year ago when Jorge was maybe a little bit better. But I do think Colby and Burns are kind of on the same wavelength in terms of deserving a title shot. But it's the precedent the UFC set in the welterweight division. Burns needs to fight someone. He needs to fight Shavkat. He needs to fight someone, Bilal, whoever, to get a title shot. Now he's not fighting for a title shot next. And, him demanding one is embarrassing. You just lost to Khamzat not that long ago. Third fight down the card, the featured fight on the card, Rob Font versus Adrian Yanez. Yanez didn't look bad. I'm just calling him Yanez from now on because that's what the UFC calls him, even though that's not how you pronounce his name. It looks like that's what they're sticking with. Yanez was boxing him up, landing some good shots early, but Font and that jab, he was just using that jab and jab and jab. Hurt him badly and finished him. Too much too soon for Yanez. Rob Font, too much of a veteran, too good of striking. I'm glad I went with Rob Font. I thought Rob Font would get the job done. I thought he was the superior fighter. I thought it was too much too soon for Yanez, and it proved to be too much. I think if he would have took a more conservative approach, maybe he could have won the fight. But he just went out there to go to war, and he thought he maybe might be able to stop Rob Font. Rob Font was right there to throw it right back at him, and that was a nasty right hand to finish him. Moving down the card, Kevin Holland, Santiago Ponzinibbio. Kevin Holland is horrible. Santiago Ponzinibbio was winning every round with the leg kicks. Kevin Holland would just steal it at the end. It was a Cheeto Vera, Rob Font type performance by Kevin Holland. He would lose the rounds, hurt Santiago Ponzinibbio at the end of the round. He hurt Ponzinibbio at the last 10 seconds of the first round to steal the round. And he did that from every round out, and then he ends up finishing him in the third round with a left hook. Neither guy is going anywhere within the welterweight or within the welterweight division. But it was an entertaining fight while it lasted. Christian Rodriguez versus Raul Rosas Jr. I still got to make a video on this. I want to make a dedicated video on this. Raul Rosas Jr. got exposed at UFC 287. He's too young. He's too unskilled. He's not ready for the big leagues. The UFC signed him for hype alone of having an 18-year-old fighter, and it backfired. And unless the UFC gives him absolute bums, I have a hard time seeing Raul Rosas Jr. be successful. He probably fizzles out in the UFC very soon. Moving down the card, the prelims, Kelvin Gastelum, Chris Curtis. I know a lot of people are calling Chris Curtis a crybaby. And I don't like the optics of complaining online to strangers. It doesn't look good. But he's not wrong. Dude lost half his paycheck off a headbutt. If that was the main event, for the people calling Curtis a wine baby, if that was Pereira and Adesanya, if Adesanya headbutted Pereira and then finished him, or not finished him, and then won a decision based off that headbutt, you would never hear the end of it. But because it was a prelim fight, because it was a great fight, and because the optics of the headbutt didn't really exist, we never got like an official replay like right afterwards. We never, it it wasn't made a big deal on fight night. It's just completely disappeared from the narrative because people didn't witness it live happening. So it's unfortunate. Kelvin Gastelum looked pretty good in the first round, but he's still just, I mean, he doesn't look like he's taking it serious. He didn't even appear to be in the greatest shape he's been at middleweight before. Prone to injuries. You know, I'd like to see him run it back, to be honest. I don't think Gastelum's going to want that. And I know Chris Curtis is going to be hard for him. He needs to find a way to get 5-round fights. Under any circumstances, he needs a 5-round fight. Because the Jack Hermanson fight, he started winning in the 3rd round. The Kelvin Gastelum, he was boxing Kelvin Gastelum up in the 3rd round. And if Curtis could get these 5-round fights, he might be ranked in the top 5 like Dricus or top 6 like Dricus by now. So it's unfortunate. It had an unfortunate ending. It was still a great fight. And, you know, I'm going to make a video about that. Luana Pinheiro versus Michelle Waterson. Waterson got robbed. She should have won. She clearly won. She outstriked her. She landed the bigger shots. Horrible judging scorecards. And by the way, the judge that scored at 30-27 for Gastelum is delusional. Is absolutely delusional. So, yeah. But, yeah, Luana Pinheiro, she lost that fight. She clearly lost that fight, and Waterson got robbed. Joe Pyfer versus Gerald Meerschaert. Joe Pyfer gets it done. Brutally KO'd Gerald Meerschaert. He's the stepping stone of the up-and-coming guys. And Joe Pyfer went out there and proved that he belonged. And that was a good test of his skills, and he went out there and got it done. Lupi Godinez, Cynthia Calvillo. Commentary was horrible for this one. Calvillo clearly lost. She was landing nothing. She's a bum. I'm glad she's cut from the organization. At one point, they main evented her versus Jessica Eye. Dana White was touting her as like a special fighter, like GSP and shit. There's a clip of that. And now she's gone from the organization for good. She's 9-6-1 in her career. Go quit on the stool in another organization. Inacio Bahamondes, Trey Ogden. Not super eventful. Inacio Bahamondes just outstruck him for the majority of the fight. Really didn't have any killer instinct. Trey Ogden just kept doing what he's doing. Just decided to lose the fight. Just decided he wasn't going to throw caution to the wind. And just got outstruck by Bahamondes. Steve Garcia versus Shaolin Norenbeke. Norenbeke had the opportunity to finish him and didn't even try in the first round. Hurt him badly. Didn't go for the finish. Steve Garcia recovers. I knew at the end of the first round, I said Garcia's going to finish him in the second. So, solid win for the Mean Machine. And then the opening up the main card, Sam Hughes versus Jacqueline Amorium. Jacqueline almost had that first round sub. And that's what I picked her, first round sub. She couldn't get it. Sam Hughes just beat her for the 2nd and 3rd round. And she really had nothing to offer after that first round. She dominated the first round, but afterwards she had nothing to offer. So, yeah. All right, guys. We recapped UFC 287. Let's get back to the questions. If you guys have questions, throw them in the chat. Do me a favor, if you haven't yet, like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it if you like the stream. Yeah, I mean, we can talk UFC 290. We're going to talk about Brandon Moreno, Alexandre Pantoja, and whatever else you guys want to talk about. We already talked about Dricus in depth. But, yeah. Okay, where are we at? I'm just going to jump in at a random spot. If I missed your question, just throw it in the chat now. Does anyone think Bilal not getting a title shot because of his Palestine flag that is banned in the UFC? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that. I have no idea. I would think no, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't have enough information. Gilbert should fight Bilal for the next shot. I have no problem with that. Cut Burns without Burns and Khamzat, who carries the welterweight division, and aging Usman and aging. Yeah, no, I was kind of exaggerating. But if you're going to demand a title shot over a win over Jorge Masvidal or cut me, then cut him. Because you're not carrying the division at all because you're just begging for undeserved title shots off of beating a bum. What do you think about method of not taking fights then? It seems like it works in the welterweight division. Gilbert Burns is a problem. I got him beating Colby and Bilal, not Leon because of styles, but he has a good chance to win. Yeah, I like Burns' chances in a lot of those matchups. We need to accept Bilal could go on a 30-fight win streak. Dana will never give him a title shot. He'll eventually have to cave. Does anyone think Bilal not getting a title shot? Okay, I read that. Kelvin got scoped like a bum. I don't know what you're talking about. Holland usually starts slow. Holland's just not that great. Raul really lacks confidence on the feet. Yeah, Raul's striking is horrendous. Just the times when he was throwing the shots looked horrible. Kelvin needed to stay at welterweight. He didn't want to put the work in. Yeah, that's true. He's a welterweight for sure. Good evening. What up? What's up, Bishop? You think Adesanya's middleweight GOAT? He's in the conversation right now. It's between him and Anderson Silva. I talked about it in my video from last night. Why Adesanya does not get enough respect. So if you haven't checked that out, do me a favor and do such after this stream. I mean, look at his resume. It's unbelievable. His resume is unbelievable. I usually skip all the women's MMA fights that aren't for titles. Okay. Will anything come of Sam Hughes saying her boyfriend bet 1,000 on her to win? Probably not. Probably not, honestly. They're going to save Bilal title fight for Abu Dhabi, in my opinion. Yeah, but Bilal's probably going to have to fight like Shavkat in between now and then. The thing about the UFC rewarding these guys for sitting out and doing nothing, then what happens is everyone wants to do that. So Colby got rewarded for it, now Burns wants to do it. Burns wants to do it, and he's getting rewarded, so Bilal's going to want to do it. They're all going to want to do it, so now Shavkat's going to want to do it. I mean, it's a never-ending cycle. I don't get why family can't bet. I would break that rule without hesitation. There's no way to figure that out. But it's a dumb rule. I don't think it's fair, but I do understand why. But it's kind of weird for independent contractors to be forced. Their family can't bet on you. But yeah, there's no way to really track it. She's dumb for saying that out loud. But I do believe nothing will come of it. I feel Bilal on wanting Usman. That's not a bad fight. I wouldn't mind that. I think Usman wins, though. Where do you think Mighty Mouse ranks in the GOAT list? He's in my top 5. He's probably top 5. Jones, GSP, Silva, Mighty Mouse, and Adesanya. I like that list. Gilbert versus Kamaru is pretty hot in my opinion. That'd be fun. A rematch between those two. I doubt that happens, though. They're still kind of friends. They're still kind of friends. Make Gilbert fight Shavkat? I hope they do. I hope they do. After the way he talked at the post-fight presser, I hope they do. The way he's like, I'm not fighting anyone unless it's for a title. Or cut me. Or cut me. Yeah, right. Dude, shut up. Absolutely shut up. That shit was embarrassing. Who wins between Shavkat and Burns? I'd go Shavkat. I'd definitely go Shavkat. I think he's just too well-rounded. I think Burns is getting old and he's chinny. He's definitely getting clipped with a shot, and I think Shavkat will put him out. Who should Shavkat fight next if Bilal doesn't take the fight, which he most likely won't? Burns. I would be shocked if Usman takes the Shavkat fight. Which would be good for the division, new title contenders instead of repeats. Yeah. It's incredible they call UFC fighters independent contractors. They told them where, what weight, and how long they're fighting. Nothing independent about that. Yeah, and they give them a bunch of rules. And they need to know their 24/7 whereabouts. Yeah. And they get no benefits of being an employee. It's actually sad. No. Am I seeing something online that Sam Alvey's returning in some capacity? Oh, God, no. Israel Adesanya's coach said today that Izzy wants Jamal Hill. That'd be crazy. Only reason there are subs is so they don't get benefits? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly why. Can you give me a welterweight top 5 list all time? GSP, Usman, and then I don't know after that. Matt Hughes is up there somewhere, but I wasn't around for that era, so I can't really give an accurate depiction. So those three, and then I don't know where it would go from there. 24/7 whereabouts is for a clean sport. Yeah, I don't care. Still, I mean, imagine if your job told you that. Imagine if your job told you we need to know where you're at 24/7. Leon versus Izzy would be a nice fight. Yeah, dude, Izzy would starch Leon badly, I think. He'll going to be too strong for Izzy and won't be scared to take a few. Don't think that's a good move for Izzy. I think that's a winnable fight for Izzy. I wouldn't guarantee he's going to win it, but I think it's a winnable fight. Would you put Robbie Lawler? Probably, yes. I'd probably put Lawler in there. But I don't know. I'm not good with the top fives and placing people exactly where they should be. It's tough. It's a tough one. So it's hard to say. No, see, already saying no Tyron Woodley. I don't know. I wasn't really. I'm thinking about it live on air right now. I don't know. How crazy is the only pay-per-view I've gotten wrong this year is Usman. And Usman could have won that fight. It should have been a draw with the point deduction. Should have been a draw with the point deduction. And the rounds were super close. That's the one main event this year that didn't live up to the hype. Jamal Hill Glover was good. Volk and Islam was amazing. Jones Cyril Gane was anticlimactic but very good. And then Usman Leon was just uneventful. It's kind of boring almost. You know, it's unfortunate. I mean, I don't think it was bad, but compared to the other ones, is that not the worst UFC pay-per-view main event this year so far in terms of excitement? Did you see Marquardt destroy Woodley? I actually watched that live. The way he hit him with an uppercut on the way down was nasty. Jones versus Gane was the worst one? No. That was a spectacular win. Super anticlimactic, though, I will give you that. So there's an argument to be made. Izzy coach said we ready to get back in 8 weeks. Boom. It didn't live up to the hype. Fair enough. Fair enough. Izzy's a legend if he fights in 8 to 10 weeks. Dude, if he fights in 8 to 10 weeks, he's fighting Dricus. He's fighting Dricus. Yep, because, I mean, there's no one else. What's up with Jones Stipe? I don't think it's going to happen. I mean, I think Stipe is notoriously hard to negotiate with. And I just think Stipe is going to delay. Jones is already calling him out online, saying he's delaying. And I feel like the UFC is going to be pissed and just move on to something else. But if it does happen, it'll probably happen in August. If Jones versus Stipe happens, it'll most likely happen in August. If and when Izzy fights Alex Pereira again, do you think Izzy wins and how? I would take Izzy by KO again. I think he would set up that KO shot again. Jorge and Burns really disappointed. Yeah, it was super disappointing. Someone else said this, but I agree with it. It almost seemed like Burns was taking it easy on him. It almost seemed like Burns was taking it easy on him. So, that's the way it is. But yeah, what's his name looked horrible. Jorge looked bad. Really bad. Yeah, Burns landed a couple big shots, but still. UFC 289, how can we save this card? There's no saving it. I'm disappointed with 289. I'm really disappointed. June's horrible. How crazy is it we're already talking about June? And in the same amount of time that's passed since January, it's going to be July. That's crazy. Jay, wasn't Grasso ranked like 6 before the fight? So by that evidence, can't we assume Dricus can also get a title shot? I mean, yeah, there's been people outside the top 10 that have gotten title shots before. So, yeah, the rankings don't necessarily matter in terms of who gets a title shot. Who's fighting in 289? Right now, we know it's going to be Juliana Pena, Amanda Nunes 3. The trilogy nobody asked for. which is unfortunate. Burns versus Bilal, co-main event of Leon card. I like that idea. If they're going to pay someone to be the backup, let them fight on the card too. Burns did drop him. Are you talking about Usman? Burns versus Usman 2, how would that go? I'd probably take Usman still. But I don't know. That'd be close. Since Khamzat is moving up to middleweight, do you think Shavkat versus Khamzat fight can still happen in the future? Yes. But I'm not like super excited. I'm not super confident that it will, which is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. It's super disappointing. Wow, you really hate Pena? Pena is the worst striker of all time. The worst striker of all time. Burns versus Usman. Okay, read that. That was a very disappointing here as a headliner for a pay-per-view. I know. You preach into the choir, my friend. You preach into the choir. It's horrible. I have no desire to see it. It's going to be really bad. It is going to be really bad. I mean, Payne is delusional. She's like, yeah, I wasn't expecting her to be southpaw. That's her excuse. Can you make a video of who Izzy fights next? It's literally out on the channel right now. I just released it today, dude. It's literally titled Israel Adesanya doesn't owe Alex Pereira a trilogy fight. At the end of the video, I talk about all the possibilities for Adesanya next. I'm 5'4", so I'm obviously bleeding out my nose for Henry and Aljo. And do you feel Henry's having money issues in regards to his return? I don't think he's having money issues, but I think he's realizing, if he wants to make, big paychecks, he better come back quick. So he decided to come back. So, the only reason Nunes versus Pena 3 is happening is none of the bantamweights were silent and did not make any noise. Pena keeps shouting and got it. Why were Aldana, Vieira, and Pena radio silent? I don't know. Do you think Sterling beats Cejudo? No, I got Cejudo. Who do you favor in the Adesanya Khamzat 5-rounder? Who wins and how? Adesanya, 3rd round KO. Khamzat tries to grapple early, maybe gets a few takedowns, but Adesanya is very good defensively. Survives the threat, gets back to his feet, makes Khamzat work, and then eventually he gets clipped up and put to sleep. I mean, Duba's getting clipped by Burns. What do you think Adesanya is going to do to him? What do you think Adesanya... Khamzat has a frantic grappling style, and it's just not conducive if you can't get somebody down. So if he can't get Adesanya down, he's done for on the feet. If Izzy want to stay busy, he should just put an end to Rob Whittaker for good. Could you imagine they booked that trilogy? I wouldn't mind watching Whittaker get destroyed again. I wouldn't mind it. Sterling is underrated, that's for sure. Make Khamzat beat at least one contender. Yeah, I agree. He probably should have to. He probably should have to beat at least one contender. I don't want Izzy to fight Robert to win. I'm not super interested in it. I'm not sure who to predict in Adesanya versus Khamzat because I think Izzy has better striking, but Khamzat has better wrestling, so it cancels out. Nah, I think it all depends on cardio. Khamzat can't keep that pace up for 5 rounds. And if he doesn't do that chain wrestling, I don't think he's going to control Adesanya for long periods of time to win a decision. You're on crack if you think Izzy KOs Khamzat? Okay. Coming from the guy who thought Pereira was going to starch him. He didn't get destroyed in the second fight. Who are you talking about? Yeah, Khamzat can't stand with Izzy, the cerebral assassin. Exactly. Dana will pray Nunes wins so they can set up a Holly Holm and Amanda Nunes too. I have absolutely no desire to see that. Absolutely no desire to see that at all. Disgusting, horrible. Pena said in an interview she forced Amanda fight and UFC told Amanda to fight or vacate. I wonder how true that is. I would love to know how true that is. Imagine that is true. That'd be craziness. That'd be absolute craziness. But it wouldn't shock me if Amanda was like, nah, I want a different challenge, and I just want to sit out for a while. And they're like, nah, we need a main event. You're fighting in a main event whether you like it or not, you clown. Is Khamzat going to look better at his natural weight, though, because we haven't seen him at a full 185 pounds? Maybe. Maybe. It's hard to say until we see it against an elite level fighter. So hopefully we get it. Hopefully he gets a fight soon. Hopefully he gets a fight soon. They should have gave it to Holly instead of Pena. I would have honestly preferred that. I mean, for Pena to get a trilogy fight after getting 50-44 and 50-43, one judge gave Nunes 2 10-8 rounds. That's a shit main event. I'm disgusted with that main event. I'm mad because we had this amazing 6-week period. You have Jan versus Merab. You had Jones versus Cyril Gane. You had Shavkat versus Jeff Neal. You had Adesanya. You had Adesanya versus Pereira 2. You had Burns versus Mosley. You had all these great fights. And now we get that shit sandwich. That's actually really, really sad. That's a shit sandwich and a half. I've yet to find one person that wanted that trilogy, that was clamoring for that trilogy. But that's the way it is, I guess. That is the way it is. So, Khamzat will also fight another guy. Yeah, I know. I know he had a couple fights at 85, but it's been a bit. Been a couple years, 3 years. Do you think Pereira versus Adesanya MMA score is even or settled? I want to see a rubber match regardless of when it happens. I mean, I don't need to see the trilogy. But, yeah, technically it's 1-1. It's 1-1. But the way I see it is, I can say unequivocally, I think Adesanya is the better fighter. He won the majority of the first fight. He won the majority of the second fight. And then he closed it off with a statement KO. So, I know who's the better fighter. I don't need to be told again. But with the lack of interesting contenders, I don't mind seeing the trilogy. Maybe let them each fight one fight and then let it happen. But right away, I think it's bad for Pereira's career. Islam will lose in his next title defense. I think the Dagestani style is slowly getting exposed. Either Charles or Volk in the rematch or Beneil all have a legit shot. I think Beneil has the best skill set to dethrone him. Do you think Pereira versus Adesanya? You read that. Ariel said if Pena wins, there's an argument Pena is the GOAT of women's MMA. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? What an embarrassment that is. UFC 288, the spectacular run will finally be destroyed in June. That is true. 282 wasn't great, though. I'm taking a fat dookie right now, and I saw you were live and just wanted to check in. Hope y'all chilling and having a good day. What's up, Park Stu? What is up, my friend? So, Khamzat has power at 185. People forget Khamzat versus Gerald. Yeah, so does Joe Pyfer, I guess. It's a tragedy that the fight with title implications like Raval Nicolau is on the prelims. I hope they adjust that. I'm thinking they're going to adjust that, but I don't know. I would think that that's going to get adjusted before the card actually happens. I really like Gastelum and wanted to see him climb up the ranks. How do you think Gastelum and Strickland goes? I think Strickland would probably beat Gastelum or be a close fight and go to decision, and maybe Gastelum will be able to eke out. If Cejudo beats Sterling, I'm doing a giveaway in your Discord for a gift card. So, well, you're going to be doing a giveaway then. Because Sterling is going to lose. If Pena wins, they should bring Cyborg back for one fight to cripple her. Dude, I'm surprised when Pena won, they didn't try to entice Ronda Rousey back. I'm surprised. Imagine if Beneil Dariush defeats Charles, then has to fight Dustin. I would feel bad for Beneil. I would feel very bad for Beneil. Dude's got to fight everyone. Will Nikolai defeat... I'm assuming you're saying Brandon Royval? Or are you saying, will Nikolai defeat Moreno? No. Munoz versus Gutierrez prediction. I'm going Gutierrez by decision probably. I think he's much bigger than Pedro Munoz, and I think Pedro Munoz is getting old. He's about to be on his way out. Who does Dana dislike more than Burns? They won't even give Bilal even Burns. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. So you will be surprised if Henry loses? Yes, I will be. Bilal has to fight Shavkat. We'll see if it actually happens or not. I don't know if it will. It sucks Beneil accepted the Charles fight because he can legit lose the fight, and I do agree Beneil has the best chance to beat Islam. Yeah, but I guess the UFC wanted to make that fight. It beefs up UFC 288, so kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. UFC can make Pena versus Rousey. Who do you think wins? I don't know. It depends what Rousey looks like, but I think anybody can beat Pena on any given night, so I'd probably go Rousey. I'm surprised they didn't entice her back to try to fight for the belt and then win and then retire. That's what she would have done. If Jan moves down to 185 to fight Izzy, who you picking? I pick Izzy at 185. I think Jan, it would be the laws of diminishing returns. I just think that Jan would drain himself too much getting to 185. He used to fight at 185 at one point, didn't he? But it's been a while. Let me go take a look. Did he ever fight at middleweight in the UFC? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I can't find anything concrete about what weight class. I thought he fought at middleweight at one point. I'm trying to look. They should give you a weight class on the list, but yeah. If he can make the weight, that's kind of an interesting fight. Joe, I was just starting to feel better, and now I think I caught a sinus infection. Fair enough. That sucks badly. UFC, if Jan moves down to 185 to fight Izzy, who you picking? I'm picking Izzy, by the way. I think I already said that, but just in case I didn't. Prediction for Wonderboy Pereira and the battle, Gabe Green. Wonderboy beats Pereira. And I'm going to say Gabe Green beats Battle. I'm going to say Gabe Green beats Battle. Guru is live right now and said you look exactly like your political takes. Well, good thing I don't have any political takes. I just have honest opinions of what I think. And, you know, some people do that. Have honest opinions. Barboza versus Billy Q. Prediction. I got Barboza. I think Barboza's just too good. I think Billy Q could end up, you know, maybe like winning in like a third round TKO where Barboza gets tired of beating the shit out of him and gets exhausted. But I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. I think Barboza would win the first 2 rounds. This card this weekend is pretty good. Let me pull it up here. It's pretty damn good. I'm going to go over it on Friday. I mean, Barboza, Billy Q, Dustin Jacoby, Azamat Mirzanov, Ian Cutelaba, Tanner Boza, Pedro Munoz, Chris Gutierrez, Clay Guida, Rafa Garcia, Brandon Royval, Mateus Nicolau. All great fights. I mean, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, I mean, I look forward to it. I look forward to that card. I look forward to that card. Okay. I mean, this Kansas City card is amazing. I'm going to be streaming it, by the way, guys. If you want to join me for that card, I'm going to be streaming it. Last one before I check out for the night. Prediction versus Kutaladze versus McDessie. Kutateladze definitely wins that one. I want to see Dricus versus Khamzat for #1 contender to fight Izzy. Well, easy win for Khamzat for the middleweight belt. I want to see a new competition. I'm tired of rematches. Yeah, that's what I hope they book. So then we can watch Khamzat versus Izzy. MAJ, I watch this YouTube channel for straightforward, unbiased MMA opinions. Please don't get back into the back and forth arguments with other MMA channels. It's silly. I mean, have you seen that from me? That doesn't exist. I don't care what any other channel's doing. I don't care what any other channel's saying because I don't pay attention to them. I don't have time to watch them. I don't have time to care about what they have to say because I have a normal life. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know why you're saying it like that because that doesn't exist with me. But appreciate your support. But yeah, Kutateladze is definitely going to smash Makdessi, in my opinion. Kutateladze could arguably fight for a belt and possibly win. That's how good he is. My mustache is itching like crazy right now. So, should the UFC do something to force Stipe's hand, like either accept the fight on this date or you're removed from the rankings? Yeah, but they're only going to, they're just going to use, they already do that, but they use favoritism with it. When is Guram fighting? I'm not exactly sure. Who should Weili Zhang fight next? It's going to be Amanda Lemos. 100% going to be Amanda Lemos. So, yeah. And I think maybe UFC 289. I think that could be the one. I think they could make it on 289. So, okay, so Guram's fighting 289 too. Nice stream tonight. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit longer. I'm probably going to only go a couple more minutes. I'm going to try to pump out a video. I might jump back on later, depending on when I get the video done, but I'm kind of tired, so I might just go to bed. I've already pumped out plenty of videos today. Best Dana White quote. It's when someone tried to vote out somebody on The Ultimate Fighter, and Dana White's quote was, "We're not going to vote him off. You got to beat him off." And then he was like, pause. So, UFC and John shouldn't wait around to book the winner of Blades. UFC and John shouldn't wait around and book the winner of Blades versus Pavlovich. Yeah, rather than Stipe, for sure. Would be nice to have a conversation, maybe voice with members. I might do that one day. I don't know. It's just tough. Who you picking between Zhang and Lemos? Pause. You got to beat him off. No problem. Yeah. Go look it up. If you just search Dana White, beat him off, it'll be on YouTube. He says, we're not voting anyone off. You want him off, you got to beat him off. And then he was like, that didn't sound right. But he was pissed. He said it. And everyone started laughing too. Dana, cocaine cheap, got to make money. That is true. That is true. Will Usman retire if he loses his next fight? No. I don't think so. But maybe. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. I want to record a video before I go to sleep tonight. I might jump back on for another stream. If I can finish my video by 11:15, I might jump back on for like another 45 minutes or an hour. But appreciate you guys for joining me. Make sure to double check that you're subscribed to the channel. Do me a favor and like this stream before you go. Go check out all the latest videos on the channel. And I will see you guys tomorrow. If not, I'll definitely be streaming on Friday. But I might even be back tonight. So if you watch this stream, you know I may be back tonight. Appreciate you guys very much for watching. And I will talk to you later. Good night.